Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm here with a number of important players here in our city, led by our city council member for District 9, where we're at this morning, Sean Elo Rivera, our library director, Misty Jones, Cox Communications Senior Vice President, Sam Atisha, the director of our Information Technology Department, Jonathan Banke, as well as representatives from the community and corporate partners who helped make this possible, our announcement today possible. That's the San Diego Parks Foundation, San Diego Public Library Foundation, Cox Communications, as I mentioned, and AT&T. Just a few short months ago, I assumed the office of mayor with the intentions of creating a city that works for all of us. And today we're taking a major step in that direction by helping to close the digital divide that holds back far too many San Diegans. Over the last year, the pandemic has made it painfully obvious how important internet access is in our daily lives. Kids have been remote learning, San Diegans are working from home more than they ever have, and during this time when we had to stay away from one another, many of us use Zoom and FaceTime and other methods to stay connected. I want to invite San Diegans who are privileged to have internet access to consider what it would be to have spent the last year without internet access. And sadly, in our city, that's not an imagination for a lot of folks. In fact, for an estimated 53,000 San Diegans, that is their reality. So we know that is also particularly true in communities like City Heights, where we are today, and other historically underserved neighborhoods. And for us to be a truly great city, we must address digital equity head-on and make sure that every San Diegan has access to the opportunities of our digital age. And that's why we're announcing today that the City of San Diego is offering free Wi-Fi at over 300 new locations as a part of our new SD Access for All program. You can now tap into free Wi-Fi at over 60 library and park locations across the city, as well as at over 250 street spots in underserved communities. We've also launched a new website, sandiego.gov/SD Access. Let me do that one more time. sandiego.gov/SD Access, where you can find an interactive map so that you can find the nearest location for free Wi-Fi access. But we're not stopping there. We know that not everyone can afford a laptop or the monthly cost of home internet service. And to help get those folks connected, the San Diego Library now has hundreds of new laptops for patrons to check out from select libraries. The city has also acquired 900 mobile hotspots that are now available to check out from libraries for home use. Mobile hotspots are easy to use and allow users to connect their laptop to the internet and other Wi-Fi enabled devices to the internet. I know that our library director, Misty Jones, and her team are excited to have these new opportunities to provide to San Diegans, and she'll provide some more details on that in just a moment. At my first State of the City address back in January, I pledged to expand internet access in our city to create more opportunities at our libraries within my first 6 months in office. I'm proud to say that it took us just 3 months, thanks to our hardworking city employees and many of our important community partners. A big thank you to our city staff, and specifically those working in the departments of IT, Parks and Recreation, Library, and Economic Development for their hard work on this SD Access for All initiative. I also want to thank the San Diego Parks Foundation for helping set up Wi-Fi in 24 park and recreation facilities. And thank you to the San Diego Public Library Foundation for its help in setting up outdoor computer labs at 10 libraries and for the laptop expansions. I also want to acknowledge that we could not do this without our private sector partners. And in particular, I want to appreciate Cox Communications for an agreement that we reached with them on neighborhood Wi-Fi hotspots, as with also with AT&T on those mobile hotspots. Thanks to both of these companies, we are providing discounts on Thanks to both these companies for providing discounts on these important services. It helped ensure that we can maximize the benefit for San Diego residents. And all of this was made possible by our forward-looking City Council, who provided funding in the budget to expand SD Access for All in the current budget. And I'm calling on the Council again this year to keep this program and to expand it further. I've included $450,000 in the proposed budget I released last week so that we can continue expanding free Wi-Fi at even more locations and to provide additional resources at our libraries. Over the last several years, not just during the pandemic, even before it, we have seen more patrons utilizing our branch libraries to access virtual services. And so we want to meet folks where they're at. They're telling us very clearly they want more virtual experiences, they want more access to internet and technology opportunities. And that's why I'm proposing investing $1.25 million into more e-materials and virtual programming, making sure that San Diegans can access their library whenever they want to, whenever it's convenient, not just during setup periods of time that we've established through the budget. I believe that we can provide better services and have more people use our libraries by investing in 21st century technology and making it available to those who need it the most. Again, communities like the one I'm proud to be in today. To tell you more about this community, about the need for digital equity and greater access, is someone who's a true champion for equity in our city. I'd like to introduce City Councilmember Sean Elo Rivera to say a few words. Councilmember?
Thank you, Mayor Gloria. I really appreciate your comments there and your commitment to this issue. You did it quickly, and so actions speak louder than words, and your actions say a lot about your commitment to this issue. With the onset of the COVID-19 crisis, the digital divide discussed today has become a vast rift. Our digital world has become a necessary resource for living a functional life. Without access to the internet, it's extremely difficult to apply for a job or for unemployment benefits, to renew your license, find a nearby food bank, apply for city's rental assistance program, register for a vaccine, and to educate your children and look for a career. I think it's important that we reflect on that when we use catchphrases like digital divide, what the actual impact is on families. And that's a very good example of what it means. This means access to food, this means access to work. This is very, very important. For many families, though, their bottom line simply does not include internet. The cost of rent, utilities, food, and transportation means that internet access is out of reach for many. And because we're in City Heights and because of my work with youth in the past, it makes me think of some of what I saw even before the pandemic began, where young people that we worked with would rely on their cell phone for internet access. And if it slowed down or their parents couldn't pay the bill that month, that meant no internet for them. Today, I'm proud to support the San Diego Access for All initiative, which is an effort to bridge that gap, to bridge the digital divide and provide a bridge to opportunity. Libraries and recreation centers in every corner of the city will now have free internet access available. Computer labs, laptop rentals, and hundreds of mobile hotspots will demonstrate our city's steadfast commitment to digital equity. I want to thank the city staff that Mayor Gloria mentioned, with IT, Parks and Recreation, Library, and Economic Development that have been working on this for months. I appreciate how quickly and thoughtfully you have all moved to ensure that the services being provided are equitable, accessible, and inclusive of the needs of our communities. The variety of opportunities that we announced today illustrate the impact that can be made when the city comes together with corporate and philanthropic partners to address these crucial gaps. I would especially like to thank the San Diego Parks Foundation, the San Diego Public Library Foundation, Cox Communication, and AT&T for the support you have all provided to make this important step in expanding digital access. To the community members and partner organizations who have long advocated for and fought for this level of investment, thank you. This is largely the result of the work that you have done to elevate this need. At its core, the digital space is one where creativity, connections, and community are all met. And I'm excited to see us make that an experience that is not exclusive to some, but accessible for all. With that, I am now proud to introduce a champion for equity in the city and someone who I think is really, really paving the way and being a model for what equitable leadership looks like, Misty Jones.
Good morning. I'd like to start by thanking Mayor Gloria and the City Council for their support of the SD Access for All program. This is going to make a big difference for all San Diegans. And all of us at the San Diego Public Library are absolutely thrilled to be part of helping to close the digital divide. We've talked a lot about new free Wi-Fi locations, but we all know that free internet isn't worth anything if you don't have a laptop or a computer to connect with. And that's where we come in. We're proud to announce that we've purchased hundreds of new laptops for San Diegans to check out on their next library visit. They are available on a first-come, first-served basis. Patrons can check them out for up to 2 hours at a time, and the perfect place to use them is at the outdoor community computer labs we have put up at 10 libraries. We're also excited about our newest offering for our patrons, mobile hotspots for home use. These little devices are a game changer. Mobile hotspots are simple to use and allow folks to connect to their laptop, tablet, or other Wi-Fi enabled devices to the internet. The mobile hotspot converts cell signals into Wi-Fi to provide internet access for email, web browsing, and other data transfers. Library patrons must have a library card in good standing to check out a hotspot, but the good news is that you can check it out for 30 days at a time. That means you can take it home and have free internet on us for a month. We have 900 of these mobile hotspots ready now for checkout at select libraries. And don't worry, if you can't remember all of that, all the information you need is on the new website, sandiego.gov/SD access. It includes a tutorial video on how to use a mobile hotspot. And as always, if you need any help with anything, you can always ask your friendly neighborhood librarian. And now I'd like to introduce one of the city's partners in this initiative, Cox Communications Senior Vice President Sam Atisha, whose organization helped make today possible.
Thank you, Mayor Gloria, Councilmember Elo Rivera, and Library Director Jones. Good morning, everyone. In his first State of the City address, Mayor Gloria set out a bold vision for the future of San Diego that included increasing internet access and adoption in our community. Cox Communications shares that vision and has a long-standing commitment to bridging the digital divide in all the communities that we serve. We do that by partnering with community organizations in innovative cities like San Diego to open tech centers, Wi-Fi access points, and support connectivity at our parks and libraries. We're also bringing digital equity to students through our Connect to Compete program, which provides for $9.95 a month broadband, internet access, and Wi-Fi at home to low-income families. The Mayor's San Diego Access for All initiative is an important effort by the city that will help all San Diegans with their connectivity needs. And Cox is honored that our best-in-class network is helping the city connect its residents. We're proud to support Mayor Gloria and Councilmember Elo Rivera to increase broadband adoption in San Diego and bridge the digital divide. On behalf of Cox Communications, all of our employees, we look forward to the continued work and partnership with the city, Mayor Gloria, the entire City Council, to keep all San Diego connected. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. As a proud Cox customer, I appreciate that some of what I send you every month is going to help spread this out to the rest of the community. That's exactly as it should be. Truly grateful for Cox Communication and ATT for being partners in this effort. And I certainly appreciate Jonathan Banky, who is a man of few words this morning, but that's because he gets the job done. He doesn't have to talk a lot. He just gets stuff done. Jonathan, I truly appreciate what you and your team at IT does. I'm going to wrap up by just saying, we know in the last year, again, how important the internet is for so many folks. This is how our kids have learned. This is how many of us have earned a paycheck. That's how a lot of folks have stayed connected with family members. The city is stepping up in a way that it never has before to make sure that whether it's the equipment, like laptops and hotspots, or the access to the internet at public Wi-Fi stations, like here at the city library, or at neighborhood hotspots, that we're bridging in that gap. 53,000 San Diegans without direct access of their own. This is knocking down that distance. It's giving more of those San Diegans a chance at the opportunities this city provides, opportunities that Councilmember Elo Rivera and I have experienced in our own lives. This is going to give more San Diegans a chance to experience that opportunity. I'm again grateful for the partnership, public and private and nonprofit, that made this possible. We're happy to take questions on one-on-one off this side. But again, I think this is a good day. I look forward to introducing and sharing this budget with the council later today and their hopeful adoption of this particular program in the weeks coming, in the weeks and months ahead. Thank you all very much for being here this morning.